Hi, today on Gorilla Cruise Around the Globe, hearts, Peruvian style. Let's get on with it. Okay, so hearts, ox hearts, large, very lean muscles. We're going to take them apart. They're classic Peruvian street delicacy, which is how we're going to prepare them today. At home in the UK, my mum often made lamb hearts and braised them. They're fantastic. But because a heart has so dense muscle, practically no interconnective tissue, it's extraordinarily lean, very high in protein, very good for you. On one this size, you know, 4 pounds worth. Extraordinarily cheap, so it's a really good cut of meat. Now, what I'm going to do is butcher it so that one side has got a very thin wall to it. On all hearts, you'll see they've got a thin wall, which we're going to take and use as basically an appetizer, thin steaks. The thicker walls of the heart we'll chop up and use for the actual skewered grilling, and it's going to be good. So let's get on with it. Okay, so stage one. We're going to butcher the heart. You will need a sharp knife. Right then, let's get on with it. Okay, the heart, as you can see, cleaned, washed. Now, first thing to note is there's a lot of fibrous stuff inside and hard fat on the outside. The hard fat has to be taken off. It doesn't really render down very well, certainly doesn't make good eating. All of this stringy stuff inside you're going to want to take out. Second thing to note is you can see there's these very thick walls, 2, 3, and then there's a very thin wall here. So the thin wall I'm going to take off and grill separately as sort of slim steaks. These large thick walls will be chopped up and used for the dish. Okay, so let's move through. First thing to do, I'm just going to take down that side. You can see very rich meat, stringy on the interior it looks like, but I'm just going to come through and then just take down through there. This is a lot of meat. It's heavy, it's thick, it's going to be gorgeous, but what you can see is just how lean it is. Alright, next thing up, clean this up. Take off this stringy stuff, take off the fat on the outside. Alright. Okay, one side cleaned up, you can see how rich and beautiful that meat is. I'm going to turn it over. At the end of the trimming process, we've got one gorgeous, very red steak and a second very gorgeous red steak. Okay, let's get to the large side. Again, all of the fat has got to come off. I'm going to cut it open. As it is going to be diced, it doesn't really matter where I go, but I want to take something that's going to lie flat. Okay. Very large solid piece of meat. Alright, same again. Come through, take off anything that's stringy and you don't like the look of. Start with fat. Okay, at the end of the day, we've got this much extraordinary dark, rich, lean meat, some beautiful looking steaks, very thick, good sizes, a couple of thinner ones that we're just going to flash grill, and then about that much in the way of leftovers. You know, occasionally you think, oh, I'm cutting too deep, I'm wasting it, you know, etc, etc. You know, when it costs you nothing upon nothing a pound, don't sweat it. But the main thing is get rid of that gristle, because you won't enjoy eating it. Now we're just going to chunk it up, get ready for skewering, and marinate it overnight. So let's do that and then get on with the marinade. So just looking at these, can you see the striations going across the grain? So these are nice, quick cooking, relatively thin. Take on the marinade on the outside, plenty of exterior to sear. They're going to be great. So, end of the day, all these beautiful cubes, there's some thin sides, ready to sear on the fire. Let's get on with the marinade. Okay, so the Anticuchos sauce, the marinade that we'll use on the heart overnight is marinating in the fridge, then used for a little basting during the cooking process as well. I'll sort of go through it all very approximately. But to start with, initial bases, you're going to need chilies. I'll give you a specific type of chili. They're quite adamant in various recipes as to which chili you had to use. Needless to say, I completely ignored all that. So this time I'm using a guarajillo chili. The way that you use these dry chilies, basically take off the piece at the end, cut them up, put them in, simmer them, put them in boiling water, and then let them simmer for about 10 minutes, and that plumps them up, and then you can just blend them up in the sauce. So I've got, right, as we go down, I've got 3 or 4 of those chilies in here. You can deseed them to make them less spicy, or leave the seeds in. I have left the seed in. About a cup of red wine vinegar, about, I see a few of those there, about 5 to 7 cloves of garlic, about a teaspoon of black pepper, about a teaspoon, perhaps a bit more of cumin, and then sort of various fresh herbs. Cilantro and parsley are the 2 dominant ones, but they've got in as well, and then a good healthy slug of olive oil just to bring it all together. So you've basically got an acid, an oil, and then various flavours and aromatics. The dominant one though is going to be these chilies. So if you can get the chilies that are listed below, get them. If not, you know, I think you're going to be happy with whichever one you come across. But as I say, these are quite easy to prepare. Cut the top off, take the seeds out, put them in boiling water for about, and then immediately turn the water down so it's just a simmer for about 10 minutes. Once I blend it, stick it in a Ziploc bag with the hearts, leave in the fridge. Easy. Cheers. Okay, so cooking time. Alright, they're marinated overnight. I've tried to be a bit cute with the setup of the fire because I'm doing corn plus potatoes plus the beef hearts, the Anticuchos. So in terms of the setup here, what I've done is as the coals were lighting, I've been cooking some corn in its husks. I've now set up the fire with the grillicue in the middle, and let's have a look at how that looks right now, because it works very, very well. So look at the fire. Alright, you can see straight down the middle is the grillicue, the coals off to the left, those are getting quite warm, and some corn. I've been moving them around as the fire has been generated. My goal now is to actually fry off the potatoes and do the meat last. And I'm going to add a few more coals as the potatoes fry off, so let's just get on with that. The corn is all but done. Okay, so this is definitely getting hot. Time for the spicy oil for the frying of the potatoes. This is just basically a mixture of olive oil, gorgeous olive oil, and chili peppers. Okay, so we've got the potatoes on as the coals are lighting. All we've done is a spicy olive oil in there, and then using the hot plate to crisp them up. Really, they've been parboiled first, and now they're on this spicy hot plate. I'm just using. You can see how the grillicue is separated off the fire. It's cool this side. I wouldn't even try to do that. Ow. It's that hot on that side. I'm just lifting this up to move the olive oil around. Make sure all the potatoes get a good coating, but they look pretty good. Oh, and a sprinkling of salt on this side. Let them get on with it. So I'm pretty happy with how these potatoes are looking. They were parboiled, so they were already done. I'm just going to slide them off to one side and then get on with the hearts. So, with the grilla Q now, obviously we've got a very hot fire here for searing off the meat, and we've got the potatoes essentially on that hot plate where they're just going to stay warm. I'm going to put the corn on top of them, then get on with the hearts. And then I've just got this corn. It's perfectly done. There's nothing better than it done in its own husk. And then this one I'm just toasting up because I want to. Then onto the hearts. Slim pieces I was going to use as a sort of a steak cutlet. This fire is obviously so hot, I'm thinking maybe 1 to 2 minutes max. As I say, these will only make a little appetizer for you, but the idea is to get a good sear on them and give them a go, not wait too long. Alright, so, whoa. Okay, so, hopefully you can see, make sure that's in the frame, see, red, seared, edge, kind of good looking. See how few chews that took. Yeah, it's actually very tender. The Anticucho sauce is the dominant flavour. Boy, it's strong, it's spicy, it's garlicky, and you can taste the acid on it. But yeah, this is very, very good, very good. So what you can see now is with the grilla Q, I'm able to keep all of the handles of the skewers off to one side. Get a full load over hot coals, that one there, and just let them go. So I'm turning them about every minute. You can see that they're just searing up. The chimney effect through here results in a very hot fire, not one I want to hold my hand over. I can hold my hand here, there is painful, there is quite cool. Okay, a number of these are definitely getting there. Seeing the sear marks coming in now, deep red colour. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, as these are getting ready, I'm going to start plating up.